Hey, welcome back to SIP Happens. I'm the aorta to the other valve that
We're off to such a good start.
I'm Sean, and with me, as always, is
Rosie.
I had a whole thing. I had a thing about the vena cava and the aorta.
Great.
We'll do it again later.
Will we? Yeah, I mean, we have another episode to record.
Yeah, just one more.
And then another one after that. A special guest today. Special guest star.
Special guest. Oh, yes. Who's this special guest?
This is our tag-in. Our tag-in is a needy little boy today, and he's been so good for the first few episodes, but now he wants to be here.
Good.
Awesome.
We're happy to have our tag-in. We have another guest coming up a little later in the show.
Oh yeah.
We have Alan Patrick, probably best known as a D&D Adventures League admin and author, but also if you haven't played his Star Trek Living Campaign Season 1 stuff, it is excellent. I have heard.
That's awesome.
I love Star Trek Adventures. I haven't played it yet, but everything Alan writes is terrifying and full of worms. So I'm looking forward to talking to him a little bit about how he closed out one of their living campaigns. But before we get to Alan, we're going to make him sit over there and be quiet. And we're going to talk a little bit about tea. Yeah.
Oh, we drink tea on this show.
Yeah. Are we drinking a specific tea today?
Yes. This was actually recommended to us by one of our viewers.
Mama Luna?
Gamer Mama Luna?
Gamer Mama Luna. You're in the chat. Identify yourself. You're here like for every episode. We love you.
Yeah. So they recommended this for us to try, so we ordered some, as we do, and we're going to try it today together for the first time. What is this again? Because I keep getting it confused with other names, and it's nothing personal. It's just there's a lot of tea.
So this is. I wonder if I can show it to y'all without like. Oh yeah, there we go.
You got to go up a little higher. Your nameplate's there. There you go.
Nameplate.
There you go.
Now I'm hiding behind it with my squinty eyes.
So it's from Adagio Teas?
Yes, it's from Adagio Teas. And one of the cool things about Adagio is they let you make your own custom blends. And then they'll sell those blends and make money off of you. But you get reward points for people who buy your blends. So this is Gamer Mama Luna's Chocolate Phoenix blend. And it A, smells amazing, and B, has little chocolate nibs in it. I'm going to eat one. Remember when I snorted tea in episode 2?
Yeah.
I'm going to eat a piece of this tea. We're going to see how this goes.
Okay. I'm trying desperately to get this in here because I didn't bring a scoop with me today, like the smart person I am.
That's a piece of chocolate. It's like a piece of like spicy chocolate.
Hey Sean, how much do you put in these little like infuser orbs that we have?
70 ounces. You're going to want to put about 0.1 ounces in your infuser. I'm using my cup infuser today. What do you got?
I have my Dryad infuser, the one with the 3 D20s. And I'm doing my best to get 0.1 ounces of tea into this infuser without a scoop because I'm living my best life today. Cool. I think I got a little bit of everything. A little bit of
everything. That's the other thing I'm trying to do as well, is I'm stealing all the chocolate nibs.
You don't put them all in one. That's like the person who eats all of the M&Ms out of trail mix.
There are people who do that? I don't go hiking. You do. Tell me more about this trail mix.
Well, I mean, I don't always eat it when I'm hiking, but sometimes I eat it while I'm camping.
I don't know the rules to these things. All right, I'm starting my water.
Oh yeah, what do we put it at? We don't have a thing.
What? Why, Adagio? I'm gonna go to the website and see it.
All right, great idea. I'm gonna start it at 190. That way I can go down or up with it.
Fair enough.
I had a
Mama Luna
is
in the chat being like,
this is I had a friend who was like real serious about the trail mix and would get very mad at anybody who didn't eat the appropriate like ratio of like peanuts to cashews to raisins to M&Ms. It's a good time.
That's a specific thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that the open captioning got M&M like the wrapper, not M&M like the candy. So don't eat human flesh, kind of thing.
What?
M&M. Don't eat M&M.
All these rules.
Did you want a fun fact?
Yeah,
I grew up in the
I did.
town that makes M&Ms, where they make M&Ms.
Okay. I mean, you and I are gonna have to talk
It
about
smelled
one
like
of those fun
chocolate when
facts.
I would like get ready for high school. Like we would go out to like the car in the morning. It smelled like chocolate. It was fantastic. It was
That
great.
actually does sound
I miss it.
fantastic. What town is that?
Hackettstown, New Jersey. If you look at the back of any like Mars products, it says Hackettstown on it. I know, bud. My dog is
I'd like to
staring
apologize
at
to
my
everyone for wearing
tea
a nice
kettle,
beard.
barking at it. He is terrified.
That's excellent. So this mix, I found it. We're supposed to steep it at 212 degrees for 3 minutes.
Great.
And it is a high caffeine blend, so it's a good thing that we're doing this for our first recording today.
Yeah. Speaking of first recording today, who's our guest again?
Our guest is Alan Patrick.
Okay, should we bring this mysterious person onto the screen?
I mean, I was going to tell you what was in the tea first, but sure.
I mean, it's been a few minutes, so let's bring Alan Patrick onto our
Hey, y'all. That was a weird cut, wasn't it? We had some recording issues with our guest, but we're gonna bring him on now. Please welcome Alan Patrick.
Hello.
Hey, Alan. Welcome to Sip Happens. It's almost like you're here for a second time.
It's like deja vu. It's the best thing.
That's cool. So
that means the Matrix is glitching. I don't know if that's the best thing.
As we talked about earlier, Alan is a DDAL admin, as well as an author. But one of the things that you were saying in your pre-show interview, Alan, was that you're particularly proud of your work on the Star Trek Adventures Living campaign.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Star Trek Adventures, the Living campaign, is their organized play. They've got two branches. They've got the original series and they have the Next Generation. So you have that gap of time in the middle, right? But they address it in a really cool way where the things that happen in the original series adventures.
Can you turn on your web captioner real fast?
Yeah, it's captioning on my side.
Oh, cool. Can you send me the new link?
Sure.
It's fine. We're just going to keep going. I'm just leaving it. We're going. It just isn't pulling it from there, or your microphone's different. Something's different.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a completely different system. So let me
We're good. We're good.
We're getting there. So the come here thing.
I love this. I never want this to ever get smoother or less awesome than it is, right? Like these moments are my favorites.
This is it, folks. If you're here for awkwardness, then you are
here. What is going on with this thing? Good Lord.
See?
Dear web captioner, what have you done?
Yeah. I love web captioner when it's working.
So for me, web captioner went from working and transcribing to a flat gray screen with nothing on it.
Lovely. Do you still have the link that was sent to you? We'll just keep going. Do you still have the link that was sent, that Sean sent to you?
For web captioner?
To click on it to open it back up again.
Yeah, I've got the one in the guest sheet that you sent me.
Yeah, can you click on that one again? And let's see if we can get this to hate us less.
I really want to just keep all of this in.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
It's a flat gray screen now.
Do you want to talk about the tea? Because we cut all that from the first one too. The tea, how it tastes and smells and stuff, because we're not using that cut.
Yeah, that's fair. While Alan fiddles with that a little bit, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, my apologies to our hard of hearing friends, or anybody else that needs captioning. So the tea we're drinking, as we mentioned before, is a blend by our dear viewer and friend, Gamer Mama Luna, available on Adagio, and it is matcha chai, chocolate chai, orange peel, fiery cinnamon. I think I don't have that list in front of me anymore.
You're fine. I think that we have. I think we have some of that information. I think it's just going to be
But yes, so we brewed it. We brewed it for a little bit longer than 3 minutes because the flavor wasn't coming through, which I'm sure is our fault and not Luna's fault. I am digging it. It's a little more bitter from the orange peel than I normally go for. And it's very chocolate heavy, which makes sense because it has both the chocolate nibs and the chocolate chai in it.
Right.
But overall, I'm not finding it to be the most complex of flavors, and I have added a little bit of sourwood honey to it at this point, which is mellowing it out a bit and also bringing forward some of the more subtle flavors.
Alan, don't worry about it. We'll move on. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm
You're
not sure
fine.
what's up because it was just dumping to a flat gray screen. That was really weird.
You're fine. We'll move on. Apologies. You know that we try and accommodate all of our people as much as we can, but we're gonna go with it.
Okay.
Cool. So okay. So we're talking about like two different parts of Star Trek, right?
Yes.
Two different timelines here.
Mm-hmm. So you have original series, you've got Next Generation, the events in the crew participate in, the stuff they do in the original series is sort of echoed out into Next Generation. It has some story impact there. And the way they set everything up was you would play the adventure and then you would report in some of your results and it would impact, future writing things. They asked me to write the final episode of season 1. Which was sort of a big ask, right? You want to end the season in such a way that people feel satisfied about the choices that brought them there, but you want to leave them hungry to come back for the next one, right? You want to cliffhanger it without jumping the shark, but it's Star Trek. So I didn't have sharks, even space sharks. That's more of a cosmic Deadpool thing, or cosmic Ghost Rider thing, rather. But with it being Star Trek, like I felt obligated to blow up their ship. And I believe I found a good way to work that in. So spoilers, you may find your ship all blowed up at the end.
I love a good spoiler tag after the spoiler.
But as people get into that, like I had to wrap up a whole bunch of story points that were dropped in and seeded through earlier episodes. That's what they call their adventures for the Living campaign. They called them the episodes. So I had to pick up a whole bunch of those and sort of, if not close them out, I had to bind them all together. And as oh, hi, dog.
My foot was asleep and we needed to rearrange positions.
Yes.
He's so creepy. I mean, I am a Mandy birth. No, that dog's too cute. I'm sorry.
The adventure as it progresses, like narratively, it's pretty loose. We give a couple of set points, and the crew members navigate their way through those set points. It's largely interaction, like you find in any Star Trek episode, right? But they didn't give me a whole lot of direction as I went in, not a whole lot of hard direction. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. Because of the type of property that Star Trek is, I was expecting some firmer, like scene A, scene B, scene C, do X, Y, and Z, right? And to the contrary, they're just like, go do your thing. And we're basically saying we'll fix it in post. And you know what? They seem to really enjoy it. I submitted, a couple months go by, and it gets released. Players have had some pretty decent things to say about it. I haven't seen any terribly negative feedback, which is always a win.
Yay!
Woo!
They don't hate it altogether. Yes.
Exactly. They didn't hate it enough to seek me out, which is awesome.
That Twitter tag, hey, this was awful. Thank you for finding me to let me know. All my hard work made you unhappy.
Well, and I've talked to the development team behind Modifia's Star Trek Adventures. And they didn't block me on Twitter or anything. So we've maybe talked about some other projects in the future. We'll see.
How you know you're winning? I have not been blocked by the parent company yet on Twitter.
Yeah.
You gotta make space. You never know.
Right. Well, when it got published, like the email that they sent me starts off with, "Hey, sorry it's taken so long to get back to you. It was caught up in CBS legal." Like, oh no, what have I done? And apparently it was just to make sure that I hadn't gone too far, like out into left field, if you will, with some of the concepts. Because I drew some inspiration from like Mass Effect and other sci-fi fantasy properties. as I was designing that adventure and putting that stuff in there, it was sort of a gamble, right? Like, can I get away with this? And thinking back to Star Trek original series, like they got away with a lot of weird stuff, a lot of crazy stuff. So I felt pretty confident. It looks like it's paid off. People seem to enjoy it.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I look forward to playing it.
Yes.
I played Star Trek Adventures, but I haven't played any of the Living Campaign stuff. But maybe I'll put together a table to take me through all of season 1.
Yeah.
I love a good ship explosion because that just means that the next season can start with a new retrofit ship code A. Like that's how you get your new set changes. So
yes, let's go with that.
Yes, let's go with that.
Huh.
Your optimism, it's fantastic. Also, you may want to read the adventure.
I don't want to read the adventure. I want the adventure to be
you
present,
want to play through. I can refer some GMs to you.
If only I knew the world's most okay DM. The world's okayest DM. Hey, what?
Well, clearly, this is DM.
Wait a second,
and,
we have the world's okayest DM with us?
that's the title I was given.
I feel like we should probably have led with that.
Also, like, right at the eye line on the shelf behind you is DM Allen.
Yes.
Yep.
That was so that is a very large hunk of wood made by some friends of mine, Dogmite Games here in Michigan.
Yeah, we love Dogmite.
I
Yeah,
love Dogmite.
yeah. I ran the Waterdeep, the Dragon Heist, Beetle and Grimm box for a couple of their team members and some other gamers in the area, and they made wooden nameplates for all of us, and like that's how they started building out their streaming studio. It was pretty cool.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So, Alan, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Earl Grey. It's a nice standard. It's a good regular bodied flavor, not too fruity, not too acidic. It's just cold outside, and I wanted something steady that I didn't have to think too much about.
Sure.
That makes
That's
sense.
why I bundled up. I bundled up because we were visiting you in Michigan today.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. Solidarity really means a lot.
It's colder here, though. It's colder here.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
I mean,
Whatever.
It peaked at 21 degrees today. Yesterday it was 2, so I'll take the 21. It's infinitely better.
Yes. Tomorrow's supposed to be -2, which I'm really looking forward to.
Like generally, I don't mind the cold, but when it gets into those negatives, that's just too much.
Agreed. Speaking of -2 degrees, I heard, this transition is in my head, I heard that you write a lot of horror-related themes, and for me, as Sean will attest to, I am in the midst of writing something that's supposed to be horror theme based, and part of it for me is the weather, which is what reminded me of it. So tell us a little bit about your favorite themes of horror, and give me great ideas to add to the thing that I'm writing that needs more.
Writing that had its first draft due yesterday.
Yeah, it's the first draft. You can add stuff to it after.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's good.
First draft is like supposed to be like, oh, you forgot these things, or like this isn't working out exactly well, or like you talked to Alan Patrick, who really likes horror themed things, and this is a good thing to add.
No pressure, though, right? No pressure.
None.
So yeah, horror themes are very near and dear to me. One thing that I really want to spotlight, especially when I'm working on a horror property, is that it's way more than what I would say arguably most of the gaming population would think is horror, which is just the gore fest, right? There's so much more to horror than just gore. Find your theme, like what is your central theme, and then you build out from there. One of the first horror projects that I put together for Adventurers League deals with a trek across an icy glacier, and then you end up going underneath it. The pervading themes there at that point become isolation, right?
Right.
And
that makes sense.
It draws a lot of inspiration from John Carpenter's The Thing, the 1983 remake. so good. Finding ways within the writing to spotlight the characters and give them an opportunity to use their abilities, but in so doing, they have to admit and they have to accept that your chosen theme, is the antagonist, right? So how do their abilities help them work against that antagonist? Or is it going to be a slightly adjusted situation where the antagonist actually is something that can be used as a tool as well? For example, like in a high fantasy game like Dungeons and Dragons, right? Isolation may not, for all characters, have the same necessary, distinctly clear ring. Isolation for a social character, for a bard, or for a very charismatic sorcerer or something, isolation may be a death knell for them. Like they don't have their audience, they can't perform. But for a barbarian or a druid of the wastes, a monk who values that solitude, for a wizard who believes in nothing outside the existence of fireball, isolation is not necessarily a bad thing.
What? I've never encountered a player like that.
A wizard like a character, you mean, not a player. Sure, not.
Oh, a player who played their character like that.
Right?
What my character would do.
So, when you have, like in the case of that particular adventure, where they go to this dig site out in the middle of nowhere that no one has seen for at least 1,500 years, right? Possibly longer. Is isolation really what they're working against? The wizard who believes in nothing but fireballs, like their train of thought at that point might just be, well, they haven't seen it in 1,500 years. They're not going to miss it if I blow everything up.
Right.
Anthropology.
Right. And then, you have to look at, like, how can you grow that theme out? If isolation isn't going to, be that antagonist, how do you develop that theme into something that the character can then latch into? For the wizard who
take away their ability to cast fireball.
Well, you can go that way, but you can also go after something that wizards value, and that is knowledge. So they can blow it up, but what do they lose in the process?
Right.
That's fair. I like that.
And taking away player abilities that's a very tricky double-edged sword, right? Like narratively, you may feel that it's a requirement, because you want to channel their abilities and all that. But the opposite side is that players don't like having their turns dictated to them, and that's really how that comes across. If you're going to restrict their ability to cast fireball or to teleport, you need to have a really strong, in-game, in-world reason as to why that can't be used here.
Right. So it could be like a room that's full of like some sort of explosive gas or something like that. So you can cast it, but the risk is you not only blow up everything, but you might blow up the structure that's preventing the ground from caving in on you or something.
Yep. Or in the case of some of the locations across the Forgotten Realms, there are these giant enchantments called mythals in place. For example, one of the most well-known mythals is Candlekeep, the giant library on the Sword Coast. And if someone were to, say, cast Fireball somewhere in the library, the mythal would be triggered, and that spell is basically countered. It's just shut down immediately. And that is the in-game reason. Like, this is a giant library. Everything here is flammable. You're not casting Fireball.
Right.
The gods and a whole lot of wizards have said you're not going to do it.
Yes.
So, I want to take a moment to circle back to this tea.
Yes.
So this is interesting. So we steeped it a little longer than the recommended 3 minutes. And now that it's like been resting for a while and like I'm sipping on it and whatnot, I find the chocolate flavor, the chocolate flavor, the chocolate flavor.
How many ways can you say that word?
Many.
Many cacao.
Tune in next week for me to just 45 minutes of me saying chocolate in different accents.
I'm gonna take that 45 minutes off.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. But no, I find it the complexity of the flavor is coming a lot more forward now that it's like had a chance to like rest and mellow for a moment.
Mine got kind of cold because it's by a window.
Yes, I mean it's also now colder than it was before.
Which makes me sad.
How does it work?
So Alan, you mentioned this adventure in which you were trekking across
Yeah.
the glacier to get to the. Is that one of your Kios adventures?
Yes. Yeah, that was actually the first one. There have been a lot of things that have spun out of that adventure. It was originally intended to be a one-off, and then people apparently like stories about undead worm gods that have been deliberately forgotten by the world. It's strange how that works out. So that's actually grown into a trilogy, and that's what I've been telling people for a while. But that is a bald-faced lie.
Liar! How can we even have you on our show? We trusted you.
Because there's a fourth part that was written, like I did the initial design, and then Oliver Darkshire was contracted to come in and develop the concept that was there and the story seeds that were there into the bonus fourth part.
Nice.
That's
and when are we
fantastic.
gonna be able
You
to-
say nice now, but you haven't played it.
Uh-oh.
True, I haven't. So when am I going to be able to put my grubby little paws on it? And in what format?
So this bonus fourth part is getting another round of editing as we speak, because it was written under one template, then got adjusted to another, and now it's things and stuff, right? X, Y, and Z. But it is getting another round of editing. I do have some art that I need to make sure will fit purposes here. And then it goes out to layout. And I say layout because the whole trilogy, plus the bonus fourth part, are being transcribed into a hardcover format to be available through DM's Guild. Rich Lescaflair has done a lot of really cool layout projects for Wizards and for his own stuff, Esper Genesis, Alligator Alley Entertainment. Rich is tentatively targeting having a copy back in my hands. I think we're talking April. Once I have it, I just need to run it down, make sure that I didn't pull a boneheaded move and leave something big out. And because I trust his abilities way more than I trust my own. And once I have a green light on it, it goes up for sale.
That's awesome. So we'll be looking forward to that sometime in April, unless this airs after April, in which case, hopefully it's still already out, and we'll add a DM's Guild link or something to the chat or the.
I'm tentatively targeting probably May. I'm assuming there will be at least one revision that I have to make, but sometime in May is when I'd like to get that out. It's been a wild ride getting this thing here. Like we were set to release it a while ago, and then 2020 happened, and then Rich and his partner
2021 is happening.
Yeah, Rich and his partner were both diagnosed positive for COVID in the winter.
Oh.
So yeah, and they're back up mostly to original strength now, but it's been the longest decade of my life. 2020, never again.
Absolutely agree with that. Oh my goodness.
0 out of 10 would not recommend.
No.
Well, I think we could probably pair the airing of this with the release of that. We have a bunch of episodes in the can, so we'll talk offline. We'll figure that out. And if that's true, then go grab that adventure right now. It's out right now. Or if it isn't, then
It'll be out very soon. Very soon.
Very sometime.
Hot worm.
Want to play a game?
I do like games.
Right.
I mean, behind me, I think it's true.
Those are books. Those aren't
Yeah,
games.
geez.
Books about games? I mean, I can show you my board game closet. Would that help?
I mean, I kind of do want to, but no, focus.
Ooh, shiny.
We've played this game on the show before. Chuck Klosterman's 50 Hypotheticals. So Chuck Klosterman, the author, wrote these 50 insanely complicated questions to discuss, and it's not really about getting them right or wrong. It's about how you answer them and just having a fun time discussing, right? And last time we played this, we had Devin Chulik on, and Devin then sent me a message afterwards and let me know that there is a sequel. 50 Supertheticals. So we have 100 questions here, and we're gonna.
Well, 99 because we already asked one.
That's right. We asked Devin a question,
Yes.
so we have 99 more questions. But Alan, would you like red or black?
I'm gonna go with red. Yes.
Let's do it.
Do this thing.
So, red works a little bit differently than black. I'm going to first describe a person that we're all supposed to imagine. It could be a hypothetical person. It could be a real person. It might ask us all to choose the same person. It might ask us to choose different people. And then there will be a question involved. But let me grab one of these. Ah, it's the exact same one I grabbed last time when we had to re-record.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is our first run through.
There are no cuts. There are no edits. All right. So specific person. So this person is very famous. They can be any kind of celebrity, entertainer, athlete, artist, politician, but they must be alive. So now we all choose a person, right? I think that's how this works. So Alan, you're our guest. Want to choose a person first or last?
I'll go last.
Okay. Then Rosie, you're going first.
Damn it.
I was always going to be in the middle.
It has to, you said famous person? Very famous?
Yeah. Very famous.
Cool.
Entertainer, athlete, artist, politician, any kind of celebrity. Those are the 4 kinds.
Okay. Do I have to say it out loud?
Yes? Yes.
Damn it. All right. I'm not really good at this. My version of very famous is different from most people, but let's go with very famous, huh?
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, I know who that is.
Good. He's very famous. He's an actor and an entertainer, athlete. Some would call him an artist. Some would call him a politician. So I think he checks all the boxes here.
Do we have to check all the boxes, or can I just check one?
I'm vamping to give you more time.
Great.
Alan, do you have a name for us?
Let's just go with Matt Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Shaggy fame and Beetle and Grimm.
Shaggy, Beetle and Grimm, all sorts of other stuff. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, I mean I think he's very famous. I know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rosie.
Again, my version of famous is different, but I'm gonna play along here. Can I pick? I'm gonna pick Ben Folds.
Ben Folds. Oh. Ben Folds 5. Certainly.
Well, Ben Folds 5 isn't a thing anymore, but sure.
I mean,
okay.
He's just Ben Folds now, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. All right. This person that we have chosen, this person is going to cook you dinner.
Ooh.
They will need to locate all the ingredients and do all the preparation themselves. No one can assist them. You will also never meet this person or contact them in any way. The meal will be prepared in a kitchen you cannot access, so you will not even see the person working. All you will do is place your food order through an anonymous liaison. The food will be delivered to your table, and you will eat it alone. What meal do you order?
What is this question?
So does this person know that we are ordering it, or do they just know that it's just an order that's placed?
I mean, I'm assuming, I think in the case of all 3 of these people, that they're just cooking one meal. Like, this is somehow...
Okay.
Like,
so I was going to say, so I've run a game for Matt before, and if he remembers the trauma that I inflicted on Beetle, and that we bathed his dice in beer, I may be in trouble.
All right.
So with that, tacos. I'm going to order tacos from Matt Lillard.
Tacos from Matt Lillard. Just whatever tacos that he can whip up.
Chef specialty.
Nice. What about you, Rosie?
I want like a salmon pecan salad.
Okay. And you think Ben Folds has got that in him?
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I do. I think that he'd be really good at that.
So I happen to know for a fact that Dwayne Johnson is a fairly accomplished home cook. Having been very poor for a long time, he learned how to cook really well and cooks a lot of his own food. But I think I would just make him cook something that like he could never eat unless it's like one of his 7,000 calorie cheat days.
You're going to order 4 dozen pancakes.
Oh, here we go. I got it. But you got me there. Thank you, Alan. I would order 4 fried chickens and a Coke. Oh, no one else has seen the Blues Brothers.
Thank
you, people at home who understand my reference.
It's been a long time.
So sorry.
Four fried chickens and a Coke is what John Belushi's character orders from Aretha Franklin in Chicago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 whole fried chickens and a single Coke is what I would order from him. Because I think it would make him sad on the inside.
Why would you want to make him sad?
Well, I've run a game for Dwayne, much like Alan has run a game for Matthew. And
Nice.
No, I haven't. What?
What? Oh.
Why would you ever believe anything I say? But yeah, that's a weird question. Thanks, Chuck. We should try to get Chuck on here sometime.
Sure. Right after
that.
Stephen Colbert.
I feel like we could get Chuck Klosterman well before we could get Stephen Colbert. Right?
Should I get our intern Steve to work on that?
Intern Steve, who is Stephen Colbert.
Now, see if you
lies
tell Stephen Colbert that every card in that deck is Tolkien trivia, you'll probably get him.
If Stephen Colbert came on here, I would find a deck of Tolkien trivia, and I would go to Rosie, and I would go head to head and lose.
I bet you Stephen Colbert to write that deck for you.
Yeah, that's true.
His knowledge of that is just encyclopedic. It's scary.
So I've watched Stephen Colbert for a long time. I love his work. I think that like his superpower, the thing that makes him extraordinary, is his memory retention.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that more than anything, he just remembers so many details, in like such crisp, clear clarity.
I feel like those words definitely go one right after the other.
Yep. My superpower is this. It's this. It's just.
It's this face.
So
it makes me really confident that you're my editor.
I'm good with written words. Yeah. If anybody wants editing, reach out to me at editor.seanbanerjee@gmail.com.
He'll make everything you write clear with clarity.
Clear with crisp clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Concise, crisp, and clear. Sean Banerjee editing motto.
Is that underneath your name on your
what
business card?
Yeah, I have a business card. That's right. I do have
Are they crisp and clear?
Yeah, it's just a glass.
Seems like something useful to hand to people. Just
so tiny piece of glass. That seems perfect. I'll put it like 5 of them right in my wallet.
Yeah. It's got a QR code etched on, but the etching's like easy to scratch off. So
okay.
You can reuse it for other things if you want.
Mm-hmm. Do you ask people for them back when you're done? You're like, can I get that back? I only have 5.
What is that from? That's from something.
Yeah. It's not in there, but it is from something. Is it from like The Office or no? That doesn't seem right.
It's something more recent than that.
But yeah,
it's from Mrs. Maisel. It's from the Magnificent Mrs. Maisel. Her agent gets cards made, or like types up her own cards on her typewriter, and like gives them out, and then is like, "Give that back."
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clearly, you don't need this. I need that back.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are we doing on time, Rosie?
We've recorded another 30 minutes of us hanging out again.
Well, in that case, I'm going to move
the first time.
Oh, yeah, the first time.
Yeah. This is our first time meeting Alan.
Totally.
Neither of us have ever met him before.
Not even once.
Nope. What's our tea taste like? Do we want to tell our people at home how we rate tea?
Yes, let's do that.
We should do that. Co-host, you got that pulled up? Because
I do. I have it ready. Look at me.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. All right, so we have a 0 to 5 scale for teas. 0 would be bad, would not recommend. 1. One.
We're doing every other. You gotta guess the in between ones.
1 would be like this is fine. I wouldn't order it, but I would drink it to be polite. 2 is below average. Wouldn't drink, wouldn't buy. Would drink, wouldn't buy. And 3, good, would buy, probably not preferred. 3 is a nice like. I have no problem with this being in my house. I enjoyed this. It's probably not something I'm going to go out can sneak out, but if it came in like a group of other teas, then I'm happy with that, right? 4 is great. We'll definitely order it again. And 5 is awesome. Want to keep it on hand at all times. So, Alan, 0 to 5, how's your Earl Grey?
My Earl Grey is, I'd put it around a 4. I generally keep Earl Grey in the house. This is, it's a pretty decent blend. Pretty happy with it.
And, are you drinking a specific brand of Earl Grey, or?
Yes, I can go downstairs and grab it. I write a lot of things down, and I didn't write this one down.
That's totally cool.
Generally, when
we accept that.
Generally, when I do my grocery shopping, like I recognize it by the shape on the shelf.
Yep.
I'm one of those shoppers.
And Rosie, what do you think about our chocolate phoenix here?
I'm going to be honest. I'm probably only going to give it a 3. I don't know that I will buy it again once this tin runs out, unless maybe my making it in a different place will make it like a little stronger, but I appreciate it. I'm glad I have a sample of it. I don't know that I'll be ordering it again. What about you?
I'm also going to give it a 3, because I don't like Luna as a person, but I do.
Wow, way to get rid of like one of our consistent viewers. Good job.
Luna, we love you, but no, I'm going to give it a 3. Like I said, it had an interesting effect as it like aged and mellowed, where like more of the flavor came out. I'm probably like I have plenty left in the tin. I'm gonna make a pot of this later. Enjoy it with my domicile mates, and that might knock it back up to a 4. But so far, I think it's a solid blend, and I'm very happy to have had it. And then we'll see how further tastings go.
Yeah, I think I've decided after doing however many episodes we've done so far that I like tea to be very simple. Like I want it to feel like old fashioned, maybe is the right word, but like Alan Patrick was saying, like I like a good Earl Grey. Like I just like something very, very basic. I'm enjoying trying all of these new teas, but I don't know that these are all teas I need in my life forever.
Yeah, there are times where I really like the super fruity stuff, but it usually depends on what food I have to pair with it.
Yeah.
Pairings are super important as well. That last swallow, like I just had the last little swallow of those in the cup, and it was so sweet. Like I really think that, like I'm really interested to play around with like steep times and like, and see how that goes. But it's also very clove. My tongue kind of stings now.
Drink some water. Awesome. Where can we find you on the internet, or where can we find your stuff, or where do you want us to send viewers to like look at you doing things? Well, the things you do.
Is there like a camera in your house where we can watch you write?
I will neither confirm nor deny the presence of cameras in and around my house.
Fair.
Other than finding my home on Zillow, which has unfortunately happened, yeah, that's a whole different story. Most of my catalog can be found on dmsguild.com. A couple things pop up on Drive-Thru RPG that aren't licensed for DM's Guild. The occasional contribution to print projects here and there, but most of it's digital currently. If you want to stay in communication, Twitter is probably the easiest way to go with @Wharftiner, which is a big goofy spelling, but it does work because I'm the only one out there.
It's down there.
Yeah, it'll pop up on the side here. I'll hit that.
Sweet.
Hit that command.
Over the last year and a half, my usage of Facebook has really gone down. So Twitter's really about the only regular mode of communication I use right now.
Perfect. Yeah, go follow and do all the things and learn about all. Get ready for that book that's either coming out very soon or soonish.
Or already came out.
On release dates, yes.
Sean, what about you?
They can find me on Twitter @Sean Banerjee. I will not tell you how to spell either of those names. You should know by now. This is episode like 9. Also, it says it right there in the Twitch chat. And, no, catch it before it's gone. Anyway,
You have to hit the command. I'm not doing it for this one.
Oh man, I hope I remember to time that correctly when we're broadcasting.
I do too.
I hope I don't. That'd be great. And what about you, Rosie? Where can we find you?
Rosie Games on Twitter. That's me. I'll be there. It's underscore. There's an underscore between them, but again, it'll pop up when Sean's does, so that works out. Yeah, that's it. Just go there.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Helen, thank you so much for coming to our insane circus.
It's beautiful circus.
Right. Every circus is unique and beautiful, Sean.
Ours is particularly special.
Okay.
We hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed yourself, Alan, and we hope that all those at home have enjoyed themselves. And as we like to say,
Sip happens.
So